Hello, this is Manish Patel from the EII Capital Group. This is August 22, 2010. We are discussing the commodity futures for this week. Before we begin, is our normal disclaimer. Basically said this is for educational purpose only. All charts are in Thinkorswim or TradeStation. Here are my contact details. You can follow us at Ichimoku Trading on Twitter, and you could also go to our website for more details. Okay, so let's begin. We've been going through a lot of commodity futures as time goes on, so let's go look at these commodity futures. We're going to look at the daily time frame because that's what we've been doing with them. And let's go look at futures. Going to use Thinkorswim. It's easy. As we talked about, if you've probably seen on Twitter, we talked about wheat going up, pretty much going up. And if you look, it's pulled back. We're still waiting. If you noticed on Twitter, we've been saying we're waiting for the pullback to confirm. The pullback hasn't been confirmed yet. We're waiting for that, and probably if it gets to this level and goes higher, then the pullback's going to be confirmed. One thing I want to show you guys on wheat, which is pretty interesting. This is the weekly time frame. Let me zoom out some more years. If you don't believe in seasonality, you probably will now. If you remember back in 2007, the big wheat run, look what happened. This was the last high. It broke that last high and then took off. And if you look at the date that it happened, it basically happened June 11, 2007. If you look at this year, okay, now remember that line right here. Let's highlight this guy. Let's change him to a different color. Okay. And remember, it was around June. This date was around June 11th of last year. Okay. So now, 2007. If you look, that line corresponds to the flat part of the Kumo line. Same thing this year. It broke that exact same level of 558 and it took off just like it did. And if you look at the dates, this was basically, instead of June 11th, this was basically July 11th. 1 month off from the seasonal pattern, but the same level it broke back in 2007 is the same level it broke this year and pretty much took off. So this is very interesting. If you don't believe in seasonality, take a look at these charts. If you don't believe of the past repeating the future in the future, take a look at this chart and what we just did and showed you. But it did repeat itself. So let's move on. So we gotta wait for wheat futures to confirm the pullback is over and start moving forward. Okay, so let's go look at soybeans. If you look at soybeans, pretty much it took off. It broke out of the resistance level. It came back one time, turned that resistance into support, then retested the high and pretty much broke down. I really don't like this one anymore, so we're going to walk away from this and wait and see what happens. Okay, so there's no trend really on soybeans. Oats is still intact, so this does have ability to go higher, but we got to wait till it breaks the 295 to sit there and break. But this does look like it's pretty strong and has a possibility of going higher. The pullback has to be confirmed by breaking 295. Okay, for the trend to continue. Let's go look at treasury bonds. We've been looking at treasury bonds for the last couple of weeks, and if you notice, they're still trending up. Price has escaped the Tinkinson, so we're kind of expecting a little minor pullback and then see what happens at this 132.19 level. But it is starting to go higher. It's still very strong, but this thing has moved drastically in the last couple of months, and it's due for a pullback, a major pullback, and really hasn't, because if you notice, it hasn't penetrated the Kijun 10 at all. Okay, and we've been discussing let's go look at gold. Gold's a key one. If you've noticed on Twitter, we've been tweeting about it. Been waiting for a pullback. It did a little pullback last week. We're kind of expecting a little more pullback this week and then take off and break this level over here. So we are bullish on gold. We're waiting for it to break the 1040 level over here, but we're expecting a pullback. If it pulls back to this level right here at 1216, we possibly will be sitting there going in and trying to buy gold at that level with very, very tight stops. But we are bullish for all of September going in for gold. Reason why it's a seasonal play, and also the technical charts are pretty much showing us that it looks like it's going that route. So we're just waiting for the right opportunity to get into gold. Okay, silver. If you look at silver, nothing like gold at all. Pretty much just consolidating. Its range is pretty much right there and right there, and you can see we have our alert set up. It really hasn't broken out alerts at all, so silver really hasn't done much of anything. If you look at sugar, sugar is taking off now. Pretty much it's at a level, it's breaking out. If you notice, it poked its head out from the resistance level. So sugar definitely looks like a buy right here and is trending, especially if it breaks the 2022 level. If it breaks 2022 level, there's a high possibility it's going to come all the way up to here, close to 23, and then possibly come all the way up to here to about 25.88. So there's a drastic move on sugar that's about to occur. We're predicting at least it's going to get to those levels right there. Okay. So sugar is something you definitely look at. If you're not trading commodity futures, you could look at some stocks. I think PEIX is sugar. I'm not sure. But there's sugar-related stocks out there, and there may be a sugar-related ETF. I'm not sure. Okay, gasoline. If you look, it tanked. Whoa. It tanked last week. It tanked last week drastically, and pretty much it's at its major support level. So we're back to this major support level. This thing is just going back and forth. There's nothing really there. There should put an alert here on the bottom side just in case if it breaks down to more. So we'll just put an alert there. But there's pretty much nothing there on gasolina right now. Platinum, let's go look at platinum. Platinum looks like it's slowly trying to break down, but we need confirmation by it breaking this 14.95 level. So until it breaks that level, we're not really there. OJ, orange juice, looks like it's breaking down too. It's got to break this level 133.38 to start continuing the trend and at least get to 31.10. If it breaks to 131.10, then we have a possibility of a trend occurring, and it looks very high that it possibly can. Okay, we're going to go for one more. Let's just go for coffee. Then we'll call it. If you look at coffee, coffee's breaking out. This thing is trending really nicely. It broke out from there. Everything looks good on the Ichimoku charts. So coffee looks like this thing's about to skyrocket. You look at the weekly time frame, same scenario. So my advice is, if you're going to get, be very careful because Starbucks and everyone else may start increasing their prices on coffee beans. So start loading up. Again, this is Manish Patel from EII Capital Group, August 22. This is a weekly video for commodity futures. You can follow us on Ichimoku Trading. Have a good week.